Well, hello. I am now actually in beautiful Park Square in Massachusetts, in Boston. There behind us, the green, the golden dome of the Boston, Massachusetts State Legislature State House. So we got that. That's historical and in its own way beautiful. And we got people walking through the Boston Common. And I'm real pleased to be a Bostonian and real pleased that we got a pretty place to hang out in. But right this moment, as I often do on this channel, this Paul the Audacious Bradford channel, is I'm here to work out my anger issues. And before, I've been thinking about what I'm going to talk about here. It's a kind of a follow-up on a video I did yesterday that I'm definitely going to link to in the description and in the pinned comment. I forget what I titled it. It was something like, let's rehearse this again or something. The point of it was that we're constrained. Well, all of us have to be actors and just rehearse our roles and play our lines out and make sure nothing surprising ever happens. And of course, that's the way to make sure the most horrifically surprising and unbelievable things do happen. But then there's something else. You know, I mentioned in that video, because it happened to me yesterday, that one of the members of my family was delegated by the other members of the family to talk to me and tell me, you know, we're noticing that you're getting manic, and we're concerned. And it's funny how people, and I don't think this has anything to do with me. I think this has to do with being human. It's true for me, but it's true for people who don't have the gift and everything. Sometimes something happens, but you get the full feeling of what happened later on. And I think just the fact that I put it out, I described it as something that was adorable. I shared the little episode that happened where I was with this family member and we were in a restaurant having lunch, and I had ordered a tequila sunrise before he had arrived, and then he arrived and we were talking, and then I got up to the bathroom and the tequila sunrise had been removed and replaced with a iced tea. Now, I like iced tea, I like tequila sunrises. I don't suffer any great pain or pangs if I'm denied alcohol for any reason like that. But I am kind of addicted to, is that a good word? Addicted to having respect and being treated with dignity and being treated fairly and respectfully. It's the respect. I didn't need a drink. Had there been a conversation about it, I might have even been convinced that I was better off without it, but there wasn't a conversation. What there was the experience of being in a public house and being halfway through with a drink, getting up to use the bathroom, and having the expectation, I think everyone does, not out of, it's such a great thing, it's just a baseline for respect, that when you get back from the bathroom, your stuff will still be there. I'm gonna play a game here, see if I can make things look nice. Look at that, people come up and down. We're at the end of the day. I don't know what kind of day state house workers work, but so anyway, my experience yesterday was that I was at a table, that I had a half-consumed glass of pina pina colada. No, what was it? Tequila Sunrise in front of me. And then I went to the bathroom, and I came back, and I had a freshly poured glass of iced tea. And yesterday when I told the story, I told it in a way, and I think I felt it, that I thought it was a funny, silly thing. And then after sleeping on it, thinking about it, and watching my own video several times to have it brought home to me what had happened, the thought that me or any adult could, without being spoken to about it or making any input at all in the decision, and as far as I know, not having demonstrated any signs of alcohol intoxication, which would have been very surprising because I hadn't drunk any alcohol before that, and I'd consumed about 3 sipfuls. So, and I'm actually kind of a guy who holds his liquor pretty good. So I think the argument that I might have had too much liquor to drink would have been pretty hard sell. Very, very hard sell. And to have it without any discussion with me or informing me, taken away, and then replaced by another drink. I mean, I didn't have any choice at all about the iced tea. It was fine. I drank it, but that's not the point. I didn't think about whether I wanted a drink or needed a drink or should have had a drink or was it right to have a drink. I thought about I needed to be treated with respect. And this is what I was talking about, anger issues. I'm almost at the point where I can't get angry at that until I deal with the sadness issues. It is really, really, really sad. I don't know how many of you have worked or do work, bars and restaurants. Are you often asked while one member of the party is gone to have that member's beverage removed, half consumed or unconsumed, and replaced with another beverage? Does that happen? And if it does, especially when the person who's having the beverage removed is the one who got the table and organized the thing and is paying the check. So I get just a few views. I wish this video somehow or another could go viral, because if it goes viral, then when I say, look, I want to get a survey here of folks who work in the beverage industry, and do you get requests like that often? And when you do you respond the way these people did? It's just say, oh, okay, somebody came to our establishment, ordered a drink, and was joined by some other person who then told us to take away the person's drink who engaged our service and replace it with a non-alcoholic beverage. Does that request happen a lot? And then when it does happen, do you comply with it? And then what kind of consideration do you make about whether or not to comply to it? And do you ever feel, if you think it's valid, that you should tell the person whose alcoholic consumption is being controlled, do you feel that you have a need to tell them, just from the point of view of respecting their dignity, that we've made the determination that would be best for you and for others that you not drink anymore? Just so they know that, not to try to convince them of it, just that they know that a decision has been made that's going to impair maybe a level of freedom they thought they had and realize they don't. Look at that. We got trees. Look at that. Oh, I love being a Bostonian. I love it. So, again, I'm going to put it in the description. I'm going to put it in the link comments below. So you're going to get to watch this video. But then, now you're watching me 24 hours later. Then I thought it was hilarious, right? I just thought that was I said, what did I call it? The dearest thing, or that they thought who knows? The hostess, the bartender, the owner of the bar, the brother who was sitting with me, somebody decided that my alcohol consumption could be controlled, and that was a good thing to control it. And who has that authority, and how well adjudicated was that question, and how often do decisions like that be made without any input at all to the primary character involved? So that's one question. The other thing is that I wasn't feeling really good today after, well, I love my videos. So after watching this video and appreciating what a tremendously funny and insightful and engaging character I am, I also had to think about this event over and over again. And the effect of that was for me to get really sad. So I decided I had to do something about it. And what I decided to do was, and I just completed doing this about an hour ago, was to go back to that very same bar. And I went in between lunch and dinner. It was like 4:30, 5 o'clock. So I knew it wasn't going to be busy. So it wasn't going to be any reason to expect that people were going to have to take a long time addressing my requests. And I got the very same table I had before. I asked for it and I got it. And I said, I just need something light. I'm just going to have an appetizer and a drink. Oh, that's good. And I asked for some hummus dip and a large unsweetened iced tea. Now, some of us who have the gift believe that we have superpowers because we have the gift, and that we do. I had the superpower of being able to think of how to respond to this situation in a way that might possibly be effective. Because I knew that if I'd walked in there and said, what happened just yesterday? I'm an American. I wasn't going to do anything. So what I did is I sat down and spoke as kindly as I could to the waitress I was assigned. It was a different person than I had before, but it was the same establishment, same bartender, and a lot of other things were the same. And it certainly was the same table. And I'm the same guy, and I have an appearance that's pretty easy to remember. So anyway, so I got there, friendly as can be. Give me a hummus appetizer with carrot sticks and a large iced tea. And I'm actually playing a role. I mean, I'm not actually. I'm setting this up. So came and I'm enjoying it. Iced tea was delicious and the hummus was delicious, and I was eating and waiting until what seemed to me the appropriate amount of time, and I made a little gesture to get the waitress to come over, and I said, first I want you to know that this iced tea is absolutely delicious. There's nothing wrong with it. But I decided that's not the drink I want. So if you don't mind, I would like you to return this and get me a tequila sunrise. Would you do that for me? And she said, okay. And I said, don't worry, I got to use the bathroom. I'll be back soon. So I left. And I'm thinking to myself, this is how I'm going to repurchase my dignity. Because I had the dignity deflating experience yesterday of walking to the bathroom and seeing my tequila sunrise turn into an unsweetened iced tea. And now I'm going to have the experience of seeing my unsweetened iced tea turn into a tequila sunrise. I thought, well, certainly slow, and bartender's doing nothing, the waiter's doing nothing. This should happen quickly, but human beings are human beings, stuff comes up. I'm going to make sure to waste as much time walking around on the floor below where the restroom is, just wasting time so that when I get back, they will have had more than adequate time. And then I will have this wonderful feeling of, what shall I say, restitution. I will feel that my dignity had been restored. I'll walk in there, I'll see my pina colada, I'll enjoy it, finish off the hummus, pay the check, I'll be happy. So I'm done. Maybe waste a little more time. You never know. Sometimes people get a phone call or something, maybe it slipped their mind, whatever. So I got up. Now it's a good 10 minutes since I left. Sit down. And there's the iced tea. And the pina colada is nowhere near to be found. And I notice there's no manager near me. And I notice there's no waiter near me or waitress or food server or any of them things that they have. And I'm getting a little bit afraid. Hey, this is what happens when you're manic, you know? You get all kinds of afraid of all kinds of things. You go crazy thinking about stuff that ain't there. Conspiracy theories sound plausible, but I've got a lot of experience as being manic. And I know how to say nope. Just because you think it doesn't make it so. Let's go through the logical possibilities. The logical possibilities are, that's too busy for them. I looked around. They haven't had enough time. No, that's not logical. But people do forget things. That could be. But my heart is thumping. Because no matter how much I'm trying to comfort myself, I can't escape the notion that I've been singled out. That has been determined that in that establishment, my choice between tequila sunrise. No, that's nuts. Paul, don't think that. Don't be thinking that's just nuts. That's just nuts. Please, don't do that. It hasn't gotten that bad. But it's gotten a little bad. I mean, they did it once. Why don't they? I mean, how bad does it have to get before it's bad? And now I'm praying. I want to be surprised. And I'm looking around, I say, there's nothing happening. I mean, why would there be? It isn't even 6 o'clock yet. The place is empty. They got time to do anything they want. As if my guardian angel realized I could only endure so much suspense. Somebody wandered up with a big smile on her little 21-year-old face and handed me the tequila sunrise I'd ordered. And I said, "Get this thing out of," pointing to the iced tea. "Get this out of it." And she says, "I'm the same way." She's 21. Doesn't even have any alcohol in it. So I got to tell him, is that a joke? I think so. So now the next thought was, okay, they didn't forget. It wasn't busy, and they had more than enough time. But it took that long for them. Now the question that I have is two questions. First of all, am I making too much of this? Maybe it's just because I'm manic that I'm getting all worked up about nothing. Nothing to be worked up about. Or maybe I should be worked up about something. That's why I'm putting the thought out to you all. I'm perfectly willing to consider the fact that my paranoid, addled brain isn't able to make a good determination. So I ask you, what happened? Is it possible that had I walked in and said, "Listen, you bastards, I'm on to you, you're taking away my drinks," they would have known how to deal with it. But the same bartender was there, and he knew he had taken away a drink that somebody had ordered and replaced it with a drink that he didn't. He knew he did it. And all of a sudden, the very same drink that he didn't order was being asked to be removed, and the drink that he did order, do you think that might have gotten through to him? Maybe not. Maybe I'm thinking too much of myself. Maybe I think I'm more important than I really am. Maybe this is the delusions of grandeur that at one moment that was slow in the restaurant yesterday afternoon around 2, another time that was slow in the restaurant today around 5, with very little other to do, and one manic, head-shaven, 67-year-old blowhard involved in both, same drinks. Is it egotistical for me to think that the waiter might have somehow had the thought cross his mind? There's a very angry person here. He's very angry. Without bothering to consider the question, of course, whether or not I have a justified anger for having been mistreated. But in other words, the reptile part of that bartender may very well have realized correctly that he had a very angry person in his bar and may have wanted to make himself scarce. And might have used the time that I spent in the bathroom finding somebody else to make the drink for me. I'm just saying. Well, it turns out I was just about as angry as a man could be. And I don't know if it's because of or in spite of my bipolar, I was also the man least likely to resort to physical violence to express my anger, because I have other ways.